All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the lead center. Probably nobody knew that this was even in their QuickBooks file. So this was added a couple years ago. Again, great idea. Didn't really come to fruition here in full. So up under customers, we have the lead center. So what is a lead? A lead is somebody that you want in your QuickBooks file that is not going to have a transaction tied to them yet, right? So again, when I think of a lead in, let's say, the overhead door industry, garage door industry, right? A lead is someone who we've gone out, we've sent them a quote, and they are in the decision-making process of whether to progress and use us to do their garage door installation, right? So we actually have a transaction tied to the customer at that stage. So the way that QuickBooks is treating a lead here is no transaction is tied to the customer or to the lead, right? So this is maybe going in and you have, let's say you have a form submission site, right? On our website, customer needs assistance, we have a contact me site where they can, submit a form and ask their questions that they want. So it becomes a lead when they have submitted, let's go back to the garage doors. It becomes a lead when they have submitted, hey, I'm interested in having you come out and quote me on a garage door. Okay, lead. Then when we go out to actually quote them on the garage door, we call them, we get them on the phone, we schedule the appointment. At that point, when we know we're going to be producing a quote for them, we could maybe convert them over to being a customer. Okay, so that's my thinking for the progression here when it comes to QuickBooks. And that's an example. Obviously, you can use it in different areas. But again, thinking about it, if you're not going to put a transaction tied to this lead, we're just going to keep it in the system as a person to follow up with until we can do a transaction with that lead. Okay, so it's kind of QuickBooks' way at trying to attempt a CRM system. Okay, so what can we do in here? So the lead center, we can create a new lead. You can give it a name. So, Fourlane doors. You can give it a status, hot, warm, cold. Insert some information here, company information, website, phone number, address, additional contacts, right? Who am I contacting? You can add additional contacts as you want, add additional locations as needed. Okay. I can have to-dos tied to this. So I want to email this person, and it's a high priority because it's a hot lead, and I want to email them by tomorrow. Notice that the leads here, again, pick up my system date, right? So today's the 29th, as opposed to picking up the QuickBooks, because this sample file thinks it's 2020, so it picks up my Windows system date. I can say at a particular time if I wanted to add it in here. It doesn't add it to my Outlook calendar or pop-up or anything like that, right? It would just be on my to-do list. I can put in some details, so email, Joe for quote or something like that, or for appointment to get a quote. And then the status, active or inactive, right? Done, inactive. I can't get a hold of Joe. They're just not responding. Okay. So again, the thing with to-dos, as with anywhere else in QuickBooks, is that the to-dos are not tied to a particular user. So if you have access to the to-do list, you see everybody's to-dos. Okay, so again, if you have one or two people, maybe that's fine to do that. So again, for this person, if they had any additional contacts, it'd be showing up here. Any additional locations would be showing up here. And then any notes that we add would be showing up. So I can add notes in here. So Joe said he is out of town until Tuesday. Okay, and again, talk to Joe, whatever it is, we can add those additional notes in the system here. Okay. We can't attach documents, or I'm sorry, not attach documents. We can't edit this. You cannot attach documents to the leads at this stage. And then we have, once they become a customer, right, now we're going to attach, or we're going to want to give them a quote or attach some kind of transaction with them. Then we use this button to convert them over to a lead. Okay, but before I do that, we do have a quick report in here. The quick report isn't really a report, right? Because it's not, when we're looking at reports, usually we're looking at list reports, we're looking at transactional reports. So this kind of gives a summary of what we've done with this particular lead, and you can print that out here. The other thing I wanted to just make note of, right? So we do have the ability to, sort by these fields. We don't have the ability to right click and customize columns in here because there's just not that much to customize. And then we can actually come in up here, right, as we said, and look at our lists in Excel. We can import multiple leads. So this is the paste from Excel, and then again add new leads. Okay, so my lead is ready to become a customer, so I can hit this, convert this lead to a customer. You cannot undo this action, right? You can't take them back to being a lead at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and say yes. It's going to take a second here, and now they show up on my customer list. Okay, so most of the data, right? So the notes, everything gets converted across. When I pull back up my lead center here, they're not on my leads anymore, okay, because they become customers. And now at this point, I can put an estimate in the system, etc. So again, it can be helpful to use, especially for some of the smaller companies, right? Pro Premier. It can be helpful if you get a list that you want your salesperson to call. You only have one salesperson. They need to call this list and try and generate some quotes to be sent out there. It could be helpful to do it that way and track it through the system here. So that's the lead center.